Everything you've been told about saving your marriage is wrong. Date nights won't fix it, better communication won't fix it, even great sex won't fix it. Sorry, brother. And after helping over 3,000 men prevent divorce, I've discovered the real problem is something you're doing unconsciously every single day. So in this video, I'll show you exactly what these 3 unconscious habits are, how to spot them in your own marriage, and the one thing you need to fix to turn everything around. But first, let me tell you what separates the men with rock-solid marriages from everyone else, because it's not what you think. You see, most men assume they know what's killing their marriage. Lack of communication, not enough quality time, work stress bleeding into home life. But here's the problem. You can master all of that and still watch your marriage slowly deteriorate. Because the real issue isn't what you're not doing, it's what you are doing unconsciously. That's creating distance, resentment, and disconnection every single day. Now here's what I discovered after nearly losing my own marriage. Every argument, every moment of distance, every time she rolls her eyes, it all traces back to one thing. Not your communication skills, not even how often you help with the dishes. It traces back to who you believe you are as a man. Because here's the thing, you can't act better than your identity for very long. If deep down you see yourself as unappreciated, you'll find evidence everywhere. If you see yourself as the victim, you'll start keeping score. If you see yourself as trying your best while she's never satisfied, every interaction confirms that story. This is why all marriage advice you've tried feels like pushing a boulder uphill. You're fighting against your own identity. So until you understand that identity is the gatekeeper, you'll continue to work hard on your marriage but feel like you're getting nowhere. And the fastest way to upgrade your identity is through stronger awareness. Like, you need to be able to see where the blind spots are so you can make subtle changes to create the desired outcome in your marriage. By the way, I've created a free assessment that reveals exactly which of these identity blind spots is affecting your marriage most. You can grab it below. So here are the 3 hidden habits you repeat daily that damage marriages. Hidden habit number 1 is comparison. And this is where you quietly compare your marriage or your wife to others. Picture this, you're at dinner with some friends and you're watching how your mate's wife laughs at his jokes, wishing yours did the same. Now maybe your mate's wife seems more fun, she seems more outgoing or more supportive. But if you keep comparing that over time, this builds into resentment, causes frustration and distance in your marriage. Because the truth is, deep down, you're terrified that maybe you married the wrong person. Or worse, that you've become the wrong husband. So what you need to do is shift your focus to appreciating what your wife actually does through a simple daily gesture of gratitude. You just leave her a little sticky note with something on there that you appreciate about her. This helps you become more aware and present of the amazing things you've just taken for granted over the years. Now, hidden habit number 2 is keeping score. This is where you're unknowingly tracking who's doing more, who handles the kids, who pays the bills, who cleaned up last. And this keeping score silently turns your marriage from a relationship into a competition. But you're better than that, brother. Instead, commit to a path of unconditional giving. This is where you do what you do as a father and as a husband. You just don't expect anything back. Because when you stop keeping score, you elevate the marriage to a better game. You become a better version of you. You start operating out of the abundance mindset. But hidden habit 3, this is the one that actually destroys marriages faster than affairs. Getting defensive in conflict. This is when during disagreements, you immediately defend yourself instead of just listening. And I get it, man, like it stings. When you're called out on something you don't like hearing, especially if it has a little bit of truth, like that hurts. Maybe you're called lazy and you instantly get defensive because you hate the term lazy. But deep down, you know you've been dropping the ball. Because defensiveness blocks intimacy. Your wife feels unheard. Conversations spiral into arguments and connection breaks. Now the shift here is simple. It's become curious. Because at the end of the day, man, feedback is just feedback. Rather than defending, get really curious about why your wife sees things differently. And I can tell you from experience, it's actually easier for you to become curious than try and be right all the time. This one shift has changed my entire approach, not just to marriage, but dealing with teenagers and even running a business. Now you might be thinking, dude, I've tried working on these things before, but here's why they never stick. See, comparison, keeping scores, getting defensive, these aren't just bad habits you picked up. They're symptoms of something deeper. And the best way to explain this is to show you how it actually works. It starts with your identity as a husband, because this creates your beliefs about what marriage should look like. then those beliefs create thoughts like, she should appreciate me more. And then those thoughts become words like, I do everything around here. Then those words become actions. You start keeping score, you start getting defensive. And then those actions become habits. Comparison, resentment, emotional distance. And those habits shape your character as a husband. And your character as a husband determines your marriage's destiny. And this is where most men get it wrong. They're trying to fix their marriage by changing their actions. They're being nicer, doing more chores, planning date nights. But unless you fix this at the identity level first, you're just putting band-aids on a broken foundation. And this is called identity drift. You see, identity drift is something high-performing men face without even realizing it. It's when you slowly drift from the man who used to make her laugh, who she couldn't wait to see at the end of the day, into someone she barely recognizes. And the truth is, neither do you, man. You unconsciously settle into habits like the ones I just mentioned, habits that quietly damage your marriage. And this is why all the common marriage advice you've tried before never works long term. You're fighting symptoms, brother, not solving the real issue here. The real solution is fixing this at the root, your identity. Like Paul, a 46-year-old founder who told me we were basically roommates who happened to share kids. Like they were sleeping in separate beds, barely talking beyond logistics. But after fixing his identity drift, his wife actually emailed me saying, "Thank you for giving me my husband back." And that's exactly what the identity code does. It's a clear, proven framework that identifies exactly which identity blind spot is sabotaging your marriage, then gives you the specific tools to upgrade that identity first. So you naturally have better thoughts, better actions, better habits that permanently strengthen your marriage from the inside out. Look, every day you delay fixing this at the root level, these hidden destructive habits compound. The distance grows, the resentment builds. So don't let another year just slip by wondering what went wrong. Because the truth is, your wife doesn't need a perfect husband. She needs the husband you know you can be. So if you're serious about installing the identity code into your own life, the link to the next bootcamp is in the description below. And if you want to know exactly why you're feeling disconnected, frustrated, or unfulfilled in your marriage right now, I explain what's really causing it and exactly how to fix it in this video right here. Stay strong.